Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Now everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Here we go. Now let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Now everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey.
Okay, well, that's how it's done. Good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Rosa. Do you want to cheer a bit more for that opening song? Yeah. Oof, wow. All right. Well, hello. And if you are if you are joining us for the first time, welcome to the center and to our Sunday morning service. And hello and welcome to our live stream viewers. We are so grateful that you are joining us online. And you have been doing a great job of sharing us with your community online. Thank you for doing that. When you share us with your communities, that helps us share our community with the world. If you haven't done that yet and you love watching us online, you can find the share button, click on that, help us get the word out. Thank you. If you are new to the center, again, welcome. I want to make sure that you know where to find information about the center. You can do that on our website, CSLSR.org. When you go to the website and you look for the photo of the typewriter, there you'll find a monthly bulletin that has everything going on at the center. You can download it, print it, or just look at it online. And if you are new to the center and wondering what we are all about, I want to make sure that you know we have a welcome packet for you. Those are available at the information table out in the social hall. And what's in there is information about who we are, what we have to offer, and classes and other opportunities at the center. I hope you'll take a chance to pick up one of those and say hello to us. If you would like spiritual support around something that's happening in your life, I invite you to stop by the table in the back for after-service prayer right here in the sanctuary with one of our licensed prayer practitioners. These prayer practitioners are also available for spiritual coaching on a fee-for-service basis. And if you'd like to find out more about that, there's a table right by the front door that has information about our practitioners as well as many other things going on at the center. Those of you who have children and grandchildren, you will want to know that our youth and family program is humming. There is a place for your infants, toddlers, middle school, elementary school, and we have programming for our teenagers. Our program helps your children and grandchildren get connected to our community and grow on their spiritual journey. You can find out more by talking to our youth coordinator, Jennifer Caldwell over here. And I'm also excited to tell you that Jennifer's going to share some interesting and exciting stuff with us later in the service. And there is an email address if you'd like to write to her to learn more, youth@CSLSR.org. And now, would you please join me in speaking aloud our vision and mission as a community? The Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that promotes global transformation through personal transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We are motivated by a compelling vision of a healthy, loving world, which we call the global vision. This vision inspires us to bring the gifts of compassion, integrity, and loving kindness to the world through our programs and teaching. Together, we are helping create a world that works for everyone. Together. We follow this vision through the 5 core spiritual practices of our teaching. Would you read those with me as well? Spiritual study, affirmative prayer, meditation, selfless service, and spiritual circulation. One of the ways our center shares love is through the giving of flowers. Today's flower dedication is for Linda Schleiblich from our practitioner family. Linda made her transition on July 25th. She loved our center, and we would see her and her husband Patrick in the front row, dancing to the music and having a joyful, wonderful time. Seeing Linda up here dancing was one of my favorite sights when I host services. Let me read to you what the practitioners have to say in their dedication to Linda. With tender hearts, we send our love and blessings to practitioner emeritus Linda Schleiblich and her devoted husband Patrick. Linda, you touched our hearts with laughter and joy. You were a devoted teacher who taught us how to become teachers. Your countless prayers brought healing and love to all. Fly free, dear Linda, with love from your practitioner family. I trust that somewhere between the music, the meditation, the prayer, the practices, and the message from Dr. Edward is exactly what you are looking for the next step of your spiritual journey. Now, please enjoy this next beautiful piece of music and the prayer that follows.
It is in this quiet that we're aware, that we're conscious of that which is at the back of all. That one source, that one love, that one power, that one divine essence that lives in and as us. I recognize that we are an expression, an emanation of that life. Unique, rare. None like no other, just like snowflakes. A masterpiece. And from this recognition, we allow ourselves to live in this present moment right now. That right now all is well. That right now what needs to be healed, needs to be moved, or needs to be shifted, or needs to be heard will be. So I speak my word for that revelation, that insight, that healing, that opening, that awareness, that newness of life as we commune here today. I'm grateful for this time. I'm grateful for this moment. From the bottom of my heart, I give praise. And I let this be, and so it is. Good morning. My name is Lawrence Edwards, and I am a licensed practitioner here at the center. And please join me in reading this week's affirmation. I passionately and boldly share my purpose with the world.
Welcome to the temple, welcome to the sanctuary. You don't have to worry, you just come on in. Welcome to the presence, welcome to the family. You know you don't have to hesitate, you just come on in. Now come on in and sit down. There, I saw you peeking round the window. I bet you're wondering just what's going on. So quit your sneaking round, this is where you belong. So open up the doors now. Welcome to the temple, welcome to the sanctuary. You don't have to worry, you just come on in. Welcome to the presence, welcome to the family. You know you don't have to hesitate, you just come on in. Now come on in and sit down. Yeah. Now did you notice all the love around you? And did you hear all the voices raised in song? I hope you catch yourself dancing and singing along. So open up your mind now. Now come on in and sit down to the beat. Now welcome, welcome, come on in. Sing it with me. Welcome, welcome, come on in. Welcome, welcome, come on in. Welcome, welcome, come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the temple, yeah. Welcome to the sanctuary, yeah. Welcome to the temple, yeah. Welcome to the temple, yeah. Now come sit yourself down.
Thank you very much. I feel fully welcomed. Good morning, beautiful people. One of the lines that I love the most from the medieval Christian mystic Meister Eckhart goes like this. There is a light in the soul, a light that is uncreated and cannot be created. And I love that line because to me, the mystic is talking about that spiritual light that is always turned on, always present. I didn't create it, you didn't create it, and there's nothing I can do to destroy it, and neither can you. And the purpose of spiritual practice, then, is to become aware of that light, because it turns out that the more that I am aware of that light within me, the easier it is for me to see where I'm going. The easier it is for me to be who I am, my true self. So I've come to think of shining that light as my life's purpose and yours. Now, becoming aware of the light within, it turns out, is an ongoing process of forgetting and remembering and discovering and getting confused and doing it again. Turns out that the dust and the grime of the journey can sometimes make it so that it's difficult to remember that there is a light anywhere. One of my go-to stories about that light or the presence of divinity within, and I've told this many times, I found a new version of it. There is a Hindu legend about a time when all humans were gods. But they abused that divinity. They so abused it that Brahma, the chief god, we might say, decided to put an end to it and take it away from them and hide it somewhere that they would never find it again. Where to hide it became the big question, and so the lesser gods were called into council to consider this question: where shall we hide humanity's divinity? The council said, we will bury humanity's divinity deep in the earth. But Rama said, no, that will not do, because one day they will develop the technology to dig down there and find it. Then they said, then we will sink their divinity down to the deepest part of the ocean. And again, Brahma said, no, not there, for they will surely learn to dive into the deepest waters and search the ocean bed and find it. Then the lesser gods said, we will take it to the top of the highest mountains, where they cannot breathe, and hide it there. But again, Brahma said no, for eventually they will climb every high mountain on earth, and they will be sure someday to find it and take it up again. So the lesser gods gave up, and they concluded, we do not know where to hide it, for it seems that there is no place on earth or in the sea that humans will not eventually reach. And so Brahma said, well, here is what we will do with humanity's divinity. Now, you should know the punchline. We will hide it deep down in humans themselves, because they will never think to look for it there. So I can read that story over and over again as a reminder that there is a light within. Now, the Center for Spiritual Living's purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence, and we do that by encouraging people to look within and to become more aware of that spiritual, holy light within. And we do that by creating these daily exercises that help us reconnect with it. This is called spiritual practice. And spiritual practice to me means whatever it is that you do that reminds you over and over again that there is a power greater than you are that shines within you as a light, that there is a light within you. And a practice can be something as straightforward as taking the time first thing in the morning, for example, to take a breath and to say out loud or silently to yourself, there is a bright, radiant, magnificent light at the center of my being. I did not create it. It creates me. I did not turn it on. It is permanent. I recognize it with these words. And through its brightness, I see the truth and walk the path that is mine to walk. And then breathe. Or other words like that. For example, you could change it up and maybe you'd say, first you'd breathe in and say to yourself something like, I recognize that there is a presence at the center of my being that I did not create. Now let this awareness flow through me, through my thinking. I let it reach down into the depth of my physical being. And I rejoice in this awareness. And just as the sun dissolves the mist, so my acceptance of this inner light leads me on a path clearly, on a path of passionate self-expression for the good of all and to the harm of none. Followed by a breath. That's what we do. On Wednesday evening at our in-person service at 7 p.m. in the social hall, I'm going to be talking about the power of repeating phrases just like these and then adding imagination to the repetition and emotion to the words for effective spiritual evolution, to help us settle into the awareness of the light within us. I invite you to come and spend some time with me. And then in October, I'm going to be teaching a workshop about the Bhutanese mantra, the Vajra Guru mantra, which when understood and repeated is believed to remove the obstacles that prevent us from living in the light and living out our purpose. That's coming in October. Now, my experience and the reason why I'm so enthusiastic about this straightforward and some might say simple practice is that in my experience, it helps me sort things out in life. It's like turning the light on. For example, if there are things that I could be doing better or differently in life, through the practice of saying these words, the practice itself will bring the necessary changes into my awareness. It happens every time. Or if I'm wasting my time on activities that lead nowhere, or harboring resentments, or entertaining ideas that are going nowhere, then the practice of settling my attention on these life-affirming words every time brings these things to light. It happens every time. So I invite you to try it. Spend some time every morning in your own way, thinking about spiritual light. Whatever you call the place where it is, the source of all, the ground of all being, my heart, my soul, yourself. Just spend some time thinking about that light and then see what happens if you make a regular, repeated practice of doing that. Now, you can make up your own method for how to do that. We don't have any dogma about how you should do that. I like to use light in my practice in the form of a candle. Try that for yourself. Light a candle every morning and then sit with the candle and look at it for 5 minutes. Be still. And then at some point, say silently or out loud, something like, there is a bright, radiant, magnificent light at the center of my being. I did not create it. It creates me. I did not turn it on. It is permanently present. I recognize it. And through its brightness, I see the truth, and it sets me on the path of living my life in full expression of my purpose. and see what happens. Just try it. Or, here's another way you might invent a practice. Next time you have a Zoom meeting, light a candle before you start and look at it and remember the light, and then see what happens. Notice any difference. Next time you have a meal, I'm guessing at home would be convenient. Light a candle. Spend a moment remembering the light within. Notice any difference. Or next time you meditate. Or how about next time you have an important conversation? Before it begins, light a candle. Just for you, as a reminder, and then notice the difference. Or next time you read or watch or listen to the news, light a candle before you start. Notice the difference. Or you can even light a candle next time you feel sad or lonely or afraid or disconnected or hopeless. I do because the lighting of the candle has become for me a symbol of the light that is within me, from which comes my hope. Light plays such an important role in human ceremonies, whether it is in the form of a candle on a birthday cake or a candelabra in a Kwanzaa celebration, or a flame lit on a menorah to commemorate a miracle, or a fire in the darkness to celebrate the return of light in solstice. And by the way, we are busy planning our Wednesday evening solstice celebration. It'll be the Wednesday before solstice, the solstice the next day, but we're busy planning it with all sorts of light activities and music. So make a calendar date to be there with us on 7 p.m. on the day before solstice. Light. Behind me, I have lights on the stage, brightening up the stage, making it beautiful. And it used to be the case that there was colored gel over the lights. Before we became digital and just do it with a touch of a button. But before, William, our stage designer, used to come in and change the gels over the lamps to change the color. And then when he changed the color, it changed the mood and the impact of the stage. And I've thought about that often, because here's the important part for me. What never changed, ever, was the source of the light. The light is pure at the source. The results, depending on the gel, change. I've been thinking about that. And I invite you to think about it with me. Think of the light in you as the source of your passion, and the color of the gel placed on it as your purpose. And importantly, I invite you to imagine that you have some creative choice, some agency in deciding what color gel will be placed over that light. In other words, rather than saying, I don't know what my purpose in this world is, imagine saying to yourself, I wonder what purpose I will bring into being today through me. Or do it like this. Imagine a quality of being: kindness, creativity, compassion, connectivity, calmness. And think of that as the gel. And choose one. And let it be your focus for a day, or for a week, or for a month. And then you can use that quality in a prayerful way. You can imagine saying to yourself as you go through the world, I am a lens through which spiritual light shines as kindness. And let that be your purpose. Have you ever wondered what you're shining into the world? What you're spreading around? I remember when I first got curious about that. I started wondering what the impact I was having on the world. I asked myself, what am I shining around? Because I wanted to become more aware of what I stood for in the world. And one of the things I didn't realize was that I could change that, just like a gel. Have you ever considered that you might be able to change what you're spreading around in the world? You see, I didn't know that. I thought I was on a mission to discover what my purpose was. And then I started to experiment with this idea of choice, this idea of choosing a quality and radiating light through it, like kindness, and letting that be my purpose. And as I did that, things began to get more clearer for me. So I invite you to ask yourself, what do you want to shine in the world these days? And after sitting perhaps with a candle, you might discover that what you want to shine turns out to be different from what you have been shining. Then you can ask yourself the question, instead of asking, what is my purpose? You can ask instead, what would I like to shine brightly in the world today? And then let that be your purpose. And then see what happens. I remember asking a young man once, what's your purpose in life? Clearly he had thought about it, because he didn't hesitate and he said, my purpose is to bring beauty and information to the world. And I thought to myself, wow, I want to get that clear on it. So I started experimenting by choosing qualities to radiate, and very soon things started to reveal themselves to me, and it got clearer and clearer. And now I'm certain that I want to be a lens that shines kindness in the world. And so I call that my purpose. But now I know I had to choose it intentionally. And I know now too, I could change that. So currently I'm trying to be kinder and kinder every day. And some days I'm better at it than others. Maybe that is so for you. And that's why I keep using candles, light them, to remind me, as I say silently to myself, there is a bright, radiant, magnificent light at the center of my being that I did not create, that creates me. I did not turn it on. It is permanent. I recognize it, and through these words I recognize it, and through its brightness within me, I see the truth, and I am set on the path that is mine to walk. Now, Howard Thurman wrote a beautiful piece that speaks to this idea of sometimes forgetting the light within. You may recognize the words. Keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve. Despite the dullness and the barrenness of the days that pass, if I search with due diligence, I can always find a deposit left by some former radiance. But I had forgotten. At the time it was full-orbed, glorious and resplendent. I was sure I would never forget. In the moment of its fullness, I was sure that it would illumine my path for the rest of my journey. I had forgotten how easy it is to forget. There was no intent to betray what seemed so sure at the time. My response was whole, clean, authentic. But little by little there crept into my life the dust and the grit of the journey. Details, lower level demands of all kinds, of cross currents, nothing momentous, nothing overwhelming, nothing flagrant, just wear and tear. If there had been some direct challenge, a clear-cut issue, I would have fought it to the end and beyond. In the quietness of this place, surrounded by the all-pervading presence of God, my heart whispers, keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve, that in fair weather or in foul, in good times or in tempests, in the days when the darkness and the foe are nameless or familiar, I may not forget that to which my life is committed. Keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve. I love the tenderness of that piece that acknowledges that from time to time we may stray or wander. And I love that it reminds me to keep on practicing to come back home to the light. And I'd like to do that with you today, using some words from Ernest Holmes for our closing meditations. I invite you to breathe in and to exhale, letting your eyes close. And imagine these words as if they were your own words coming from that place within you that we sometimes call my heart. Holy, 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 inner presence, great and mighty, in a light that shines divinely, in a life that lives completely, in a joy that smiles serenely, inner peace that flows so deeply, in a calm, untroubled, happy, in a love that gives so freely, in a truth that never fails me, in a power that holds securely, in an eye that sees so clearly, in an ear that hears spirit always, in a voice that speaks supremely, in a good that connects me to life. Holy, 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 living spirit within me. With these words then, I move deeply into an atmosphere of acceptance, that there is indeed within me a light greater than what I am, that is even now as bright as it was in the beginning and ever shall be. And I recognize that I am of that light, as is each person here. And that through this recognition, I arrive at a realization that my life is committed to expressing this light. And so I willingly take my place in the world as a channel for its expression, noticing that as I do so, it makes clear the way before me. And so today, I decide what kind of lens I shall be in the world. I call forth my purpose and follow it. Holy, 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 in a light that shines divinely. Holy, 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 living spirit within me. And so I give thanks for this moment of reflection, and I release this word into that light within and its law, knowing now that I have been set on the path of my purpose through my own prayerful contemplation and the complete, absolute acceptance of the love of the divine within me. And so I say, and I invite you to say with me, And so it is. And let the next breath you take be deeper than the one before. And exhale as we make the transition to the part of our service where we celebrate what we have received from this spiritual community, and we practice supporting it, both in our thoughts, our prayers, our volunteering, and in this moment, in how we support it financially. There's a text to give method that we have that is becoming quite popular, and if you haven't used it, try it out. What's nice about it, for me at least, is that I can contribute to the center wherever I am in the world by texting to this number on the screen. So if I win the lotto and I'm in Spain, I can still text to give my 10% of the lotto winning. Have you ever thought about that? What you would do with the lotto money if you won it? Yeah, that's a good practice. Me and one of my best friends, we practice every time the lotto number gets crazy. We practice what we would do with it. You know, how we would rejuvenate the neighborhood and what we would do for the center and its people. Oh, there's something so beautiful in that joy. In a way, we feel like we won the lotto already just from practicing it. So that's what you can use text to give for. To share your lotto winning. Or you can give in a more conventional way. Go to our website and you'll see the address over here. It's very easy, cslsr.org/donate. And I thank you those people who are online who send in their donations through the mail or through these methods, and I appreciate that very much. I particularly enjoy the beautiful notes that come in the mail from people who are enjoying our services remotely, because it helps us feel connected to this world out there. We can't see your faces, but we feel your presence as we receive those notes. And for those of you who are here, thank you for whatever way you contribute to the center. Some of you, like me, prefer old school. You know, some of you write checks, some of you put cash in, and all of those are welcome. We take time to mention them so that you are aware that we never want to take for granted the support that we receive from the community. We exist exactly and entirely because of the love and support of those who call this their spiritual home. This is really important, especially today as we are having our new member orientation. One of the lines in the new member orientation is, there isn't the center and its members. There is the center as its members. We own this experience and we create it. Members and visitors and friends together. So thank you for your support. I ask the ushers to stand as you prepare your gift, and perhaps place your hand on your chest and say after me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. Does amazing work in the world. And so it is. Ushers, please receive the gift.
Love is my frequency. Oh, love is my frequency. Oh, love is my frequency. Oh, love is my frequency. I am love. 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 I am open to receiving abundant love. I am open. I am open. I am open to receiving abundant love. I am love is my frequency. I am love is my frequency. I am love is meant to receive. I am love is my frequency. I am love is my frequency. I am love is my frequency. I am love is meant to receive. I am love is my frequency. I am love is meant frequency. I am love is meant to receive. I am love is meant frequency. I am love is meant frequency. I am love is meant frequency. I am love is meant to receive. I am love is meant frequency. I am love is meant frequency. I am love is meant frequency. I am love is meant to receive. I am love is meant frequency. I am love is meant frequency. I am love is meant frequency. I am love is meant to receive. I am love is meant frequency. I am love is meant frequency. I am love is meant frequency. I am love is meant to receive. I am love is meant frequency. I am love is meant frequency. I am love is meant frequency. I am love is meant to receive. I am love is meant frequency. 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 Oh, love is my frequency. Oh, love is my frequency. Oh, love is my frequency.
Okay, we now have the opportunity to hear from Jennifer Caldwell, our youth coordinator.
Good morning. How's everyone doing today? That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so I would like to share with you what the youth program has been doing in the last month. You remember last month we were up here and we sang for you guys? This little light of mine. You liked that, right? This month we're giving the kids a week off because they started school. All of them. All of their parents are tired. Raise your hands if you're a tired parent. Raise your hand if you're a tired kiddo. So this month we talked about with the kids, and it's been wonderful to try to talk with them about what we talk about in here. And we've been talking in here about passion and purpose. And so when we talk about it with the kids, we brought in a really cool story. And I'll just tell you a brief bit of the story. It's about a little girl whose name is Maria. And one day she woke up and her head, there wasn't brown hair there anymore. There was pink and green and orange and yellow, and it just had sprung out of her head. And she ran into her mom and said, "Mom, my head is full of colors." And then the next beautiful thing started happening. She started creating. She started painting and drawing and doing art and being expressive. And her mom said, "Your artwork is so wonderful." And Maria said, "Of course, my head is full of colors." And the story goes on, and Maria wakes up other days with animals coming out of her hair. She wakes up with books coming out of her hair. She wakes up all different ways. And so the kids had, I don't know if we got artwork for them. Yep, is it up? It'll come up in a minute. And so we asked them, "What's in your head?" And so they drew us pictures of what was in their head when they woke up. And so some of them, this one is called the circus. That one is a circus. And so they drew us beautiful pictures. And with my bigger kids, my teens, we've been doing some really neat artwork. And you'll get to see that really soon, but some of it will be up here on a slide in just a moment. And you can see what's in their heads and on their hearts too. And as we talk about purpose and passion, we had to kind of get from really what literally is in your head right now to kind of expanding on that. What is our purpose here? And so they drew us some beautiful things. And soon, you guys will all get to be in with the teens looking at their art as well. And I think we'll be having an art show quite soon. So I just wanted to share that with you and also give the kiddos a little bit of remiss back there with us and not have to come sing for us this month.
It's so inspiring, and we have the beautiful music and the beautiful message. Wow. So exciting. So now I get to share with you what is happening at our center outside of Sunday mornings. And so the first thing to mention is that coming up next Sunday, September 3rd, is September's Sharing Our Bounty event. And that will be between the two services. So it starts right after the 9 o'clock service and goes for about an hour. We invite you to bring from your home garden flowers, fruits, and veggies, as well as baked goods to share with the community. And the center will be providing coffee, tea, and breakfast treats. Now, I want to be sure to mention that this event is open to everyone, whether you bring something or not. So what you can do is bring a bag so that you can collect items from the sharing tables, which will be right outside. And new this year, we also invite you to bring non-perishable food items to contribute to the Redwood Empire Food Bank, which is one of our nonprofit partners. And there is a bin in the social hall where you can drop those non-perishable items. Edward mentioned his Wednesday evening service. That's at 7 p.m. on Wednesday in the social hall, where we will share in spiritual practice and community to help us explore how passion awakens in each of us. We'll have tea, goodies, freshly baked bread, and beautiful music. And don't forget to bring friends. Also in the social hall today after service, artists, you have a chance to meet 3 of our center's artists, Bob, Carrie, and Daniel, who are collecting people's names and information who want to contribute to our art fundraiser scheduled for November. So keep an eye out for those 3 in the social hall after service. Now we have a number of classes and workshops coming up, some starting in this last week of August and then more in September. There's a bunch of them, but I'm just going to mention a couple right now. Today at 1 p.m., Dr. Edward already mentioned this, is the new member class. Dr. Edward and our staff will be hosting this. And if you call our center your spiritual home and would like to express your love for the center by becoming a member, they will be sharing with you about membership and the benefits, and it's a free class. You can join in person in Wagoner Hall, which is behind me on the other side of this wall. You enter through the door at the end of the building outside. You can also join that on Zoom. So you do need to register so that they can be ready for you, and especially if you're joining on Zoom, they need to send you the Zoom link. So if you'd like to go to that class, you can stop by the information table, or you can register online from our website. And then in September, Reverend Russ will be leading us in exploring the Science of Mind teachings in one of our most beloved classes, Beyond Limits. That starts on Tuesday, September 5th, 6:30 p.m. And if you're new to the center and you'd like to get a deeper understanding of our teachings, or if you've been here a while and you like a refresher, this is a perfect class. It's called Beyond Limits because it gives us the spiritual tools to move beyond any beliefs that are holding us back so we can live fully. I remember when I took that class, I got a bit of a surprise. I was introduced to the idea of spiritual oneness for the first time, and it actually shifted me completely from a space where I felt like I didn't really have a right to be anywhere or here or wherever. I felt slightly out of place, to not feeling that and actually feeling a sense of belonging. And that is actually what opened me up to become more fully involved in the center and in my life. So on behalf of Reverend Russ, I would like to invite you to join that class. You can sign up for it by clicking on the photo of the Nautilus shell on the website. And good news, this class is also offered in person and on Zoom. Now, last thing before I invite Kathy to come up, our bookstore has another raffle for you to participate in. We have a beautiful, hand-carved, hand-painted Buddha statue from Bali, and you can take a look at it out in the social hall. You can get your tickets in the bookstore. So now I'd like to invite Kathy Galvin to come up to talk about her upcoming spiritual enrichment class on the Enneagram.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Kathy Galvin, an affirmative prayer practitioner here at the center, and I want to invite you to take my Enneagram class. So what's the Enneagram? It's a 9-pointed star that each point represents the beliefs that you formed very early in life about what you needed to survive. These are important because they are how you relate to God, self, and others. The Enneagram has been taught for a long time as a psychological personality typing system, and it's very accurate for that. But even more importantly, it's been used for several thousand years in spiritual communities as a spiritual practice. I got a lot out of learning it, and I'm getting even more out of teaching it. Two things I've gotten that I think are pretty universally valued. One is that by looking at how other people functioned, I was able to evaluate how I function. I'll give you an example. I'm a thinker. I evaluate by logic. I make decisions by logic. But there are people who don't do that. They go with their gut, or they go with how they feel about something first. And by incorporating both of those aspects, my decision-making got way better. The most important thing I've got out of studying the Enneagram, though, is compassion and appreciation for people who aren't like me, like my ex-husband. Thank you for that. I invite you to join me for this 4-week class. You'll love it. I am a type 7. We are the enthusiastic visionaries, and we put the fun in spiritual practice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kathy. Clearly, you can see she's a very serious teacher, and you're not going to have any fun at all in that class. It's time for us to close our service. Before you go home today, I invite you to stop in the back and check in with the practitioner on duty there so you can be paired up with a prayer practitioner who is here to pray with you. So if there's something in your heart that you'd like support on, something in your life you'd like to celebrate, don't go home without taking advantage of this beautiful service that is offered. I'm so grateful to our prayer practitioners who show up to be here so that they can pray with us throughout the year, right here in our own sanctuary. And online, we have Zoom for prayer people who are in other cities or not able to come in person. You just can find the link on our website, and we will take care of you there. And now it is time for us to close, so please stand as you are able and say, something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, life is in my body, and life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to look within at any moment to know that you're guided, sustained, and empowered by a presence that expresses its creativity through you in this world. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly so that in everything that we do and say and think, we honor this presence within. And so it is. Thank you so much for being here. We look forward to having you back. And now let us close in song.
Joy
me.